Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Could you state your name, please?
Steve Foster.
And Steve, what is your profession?
I am now retired. I served in Buckhannon and Upshur County as the Economic Development Authority Director for 10 years.
Okay. And what do you do in your free time?
Oh, I love to read, I love to golf, I love to travel.
So how did you get involved with Rotary through Bill?
Bill was president of the Economic Development Authority at the time, so he was my boss, and he encouraged me to attend Rotary because he said it's a group of people that make a big difference in the community, and since we're involved with community planning and strategic direction, he thought it'd be a good fit.
Okay. And are you from Buckhannon originally?
No, I grew up in a little town called Gasaway
Okay.
in central West Virginia.
Okay, is that in Upshur County or?
No, that's in Braxton County.
Oh, Braxton County. Okay, sounds good. And so, let's see. And you said you've sponsored a couple people before?
I have. People over the years, particularly in my role as Economic Development Director, I've gotten folks involved with Rotary.
Mm-hmm. And so, tell me about some of the things that Rotary has allowed you to do. Have you traveled through Rotary at all?
I've traveled to district meetings,
Okay.
and there has been an occasion where I've popped into a Rotary meeting where I might be traveling. North Carolina, I've done that a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
But that's pretty much it in terms of my experience with Rotary traveling wise.
Yeah, yeah. And then did you host any exchange students at all, or?
The club hosted exchange students, but I personally have not. I've done that through another organization in a past location.
Yeah. So if you could pick one of your favorite or most memorable experience with Rotary, what would that be?
I love the blood screenings. I think it provides a
Yeah.
tremendous service to the community. And when you hear people tell you, you know, if I hadn't come to this blood screening, I wouldn't have caught my kidney problem, wouldn't have caught my diabetes, wouldn't have caught the fact that I had a blood disorder. That tells me we're doing a great service by providing that to the community.
Yeah, absolutely. And so you were president in the past.
I was.
And you're Paul Harris Fellow, yes?
Yes.
Yes. And so how did your responsibilities change when you became a member of Rotary and then when you became president?
Well, presidency here involves going up a three-rung ladder, if you will. You come in as a vice president, which means you're in charge of putting all the programs together during the course of the Rotary year, which I had a lot of fun doing and getting people to come in and speak on different subjects. Then the next year, you're in charge of basically the social functions which take place as the interim president or president-elect, and then you go through some training at that point in time too, which I felt was very good. You learn a lot about the Rotary Foundation and some works that Rotary is doing on a global basis. And then of course when you become president, basically you're just caught up in the operations of the club for a full 12-month period.
Yep, yep. And so do you have any other memories or experiences with Rotary that you'd like to share?
I love the service above self. I think that's a motto that I really think it applies, particularly a lot of people that may not have a church home or are involved with helping out. It's an opportunity for those folks to give, and I participate in that as well as encourage other people to do. The things we do as a club here are pretty amazing in terms of we've sponsored emergency shelter tents. We have done things like provide backpacks for kids that are removed from homes, and what's really scary is the number of kids that applies to during the course of the year right here in Upshur County. So it really is a problem, but it makes you aware of those problems, and hopefully you can do something about it.
So I've only been here, a couple months now. When did you start the emergency shelter tents?
Well, that's been several years ago. I'm trying to think what the world triggering event was. It was an earthquake, if I'm not mistaken, over in Turkey and that part of the world. And it was wintertime, and these people had no places to go, and we had someone come in and show us what a shelter box from Rotary could do. It was an amazing thing, and then we raised money to support several of those here during the course of the next 2 or 3 years.
Okay, so the money was sent abroad then?
The money was sent to Rotary, and they provided those shelter tents wherever they were needed in the world. When Japan had their meltdown of their nuclear reactor, all those people who were displaced, you could look on the TV and see the Rotary tents set up.
Okay, great. Yeah. And then do you remember the year that the backpack started?
Oh, that's been about 4 years ago.
Okay. And so who spearheaded both of those efforts, would you say?
They came from just people becoming aware of the needs, coming to Rotary board meetings, talking it over, what can we do as a club, and that's what happened.
Yeah. So what advice do you have for anyone interested in becoming a Rotarian?
My advice is to get involved. Okay, it's easy to sit on the sidelines, and that's my biggest worry, quite frankly, about the fact that in this community we don't have as many young professionals as we would like to have in terms of being able to get involved with Rotary.
Right, right.
So those are the people that can usually take off and attend a noontime meeting.
Yeah.
And so we just need to keep encouraging those people, because you look across all volunteer organizations today and memberships are declining. It's the time issue. A lot of people say, I just don't have time. Well, this is something you need to make time for.
Right.
And I think Rotary is a great way to do that. You get socialization, you get networking, and also you get to make a difference in your community where you live and work.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you very much for your time, Steve.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate it.